When you picture rural India, what's the first thing that comes to mind? For most of us, it's probably vast fields of crops. But that's really just scratching the surface. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on the powerful, often unseen economic engine that's running in India's villages. It's rural industries.
So think about that for a second. This question really challenges us to look beyond just agriculture. And when you do, you see this immense potential just humming beneath the surface. A whole world of artisans, entrepreneurs, and innovators who are already reshaping the rural landscape.
Okay, so let's dive right in and get on the same page. What exactly are we talking about when we use the term rural industries?
Well, at its core, it's pretty much any economic activity in a village that isn't farming. Think small scale. We're talking about using local materials, local skills, and pretty simple technology. They're usually low cost to start, quick to set up, and intensely hands-on, often run right out of people's homes.
And this quote, it just nails it. The spirit of these industries isn't about one giant factory churning out millions of identical products. No, it's about production by the masses. Imagine thousands of individuals and small groups all creating value. It's a fundamentally people-centric way of doing business.
The diversity here is just incredible. I mean, on one end, you have these traditional crafts that have been passed down for generations, like hand-spun khadi cloth or beautiful pottery, but it absolutely does not stop there. It spans all the way to modern sunrise sectors like agribusinesses, food processing, and even rural tourism. It's this huge, dynamic spectrum.
Okay, so we know what they are, but why are they so incredibly important? Well, the answer really lies in their direct human impact on millions of lives.
70%. Just let that number sink in for a moment. This single number tells an absolutely incredible story of empowerment in rural India. But what does it actually represent?
Well, that's 70%. That's the proportion of women who dominate India's dairy sector. And get this, India is the world's largest milk producer, making up nearly a quarter of the entire global output. And it's an industry built by women. This is so much more than just a job. It's literally transforming millions of women into independent entrepreneurs, boosting not just their household income, but their social standing too.
And it goes way beyond economics. These industries are the guardians of culture. From the intricate pashmina shawls of Kashmir to Jaipur's iconic blue pottery, these crafts are priceless pieces of India's heritage, and they're kept alive by the hands of skilled artisans. They are quite literally weaving the national fabric.
And here's a number that might really surprise you. 2/3. That is the proportion of rural income in India that now comes from non-farm work. This is a massive shift. It shows that the economic heart of rural India is diversifying at an absolutely incredible pace.
But, it's not an easy path. Not by a long shot. For every amazing success story, there's a story of struggle. These industries face some significant, deeply rooted challenges that threaten their very existence.
To really understand these struggles, let's zoom in on a specific example, the beautiful Sambalpur sari from Odisha. It's so special, it even has a GI tag, which is kind of like a seal of authenticity and quality, marking it as a unique regional treasure.
But behind that prestigious tag lies a really tough reality. The weavers who create these masterpieces are fighting a constant uphill battle against low wages, cheap knockoffs flooding the market, and a critical lack of modern training to help them compete. And the result of all this is heartbreaking. This centuries-old art form is dying. The skills are disappearing because fewer and fewer families can afford to continue the tradition. The crucial point here is that the stakes are incredibly high.
So, what's being done to tackle these roadblocks? Well, the government's approach has evolved quite a bit over the years, shifting from simply trying to protect these industries to actively promoting them. This approach wasn't static. It actually reflects a fascinating change in thinking. Right after independence, the focus was all on protection, basically shielding small businesses from big industry competition. Then, the thinking shifted to development, which aimed to build self-sufficiency through things like cooperatives. And more recently, the strategy has become one of active promotion, proactively boosting growth with the tools needed to thrive in a modern economy.
Today, this promotion strategy is like a coordinated toolkit. It means improving access to credit through institutions like NABARD. It means upgrading artisan skills through targeted training programs. And critically, it means building out both the physical and digital infrastructure, like rural broadband, to connect these villages to modern markets.
And this brings us to the future.
How can India merge its deep-rooted traditions with the powerful tools of modern technology to create a truly thriving rural economy for the 21st century?
Well, technology is a real double-edged sword here. On one hand, tools like fintech can make getting a loan incredibly easy, and AI can help make agriculture more precise. But on the other hand, the high cost to adopt this tech, a lack of digital skills, and the small size of many of these operations create major hurdles. It's a balance that has to be managed really carefully.
So what's the path forward? Experts point to a clear, focused plan, starting with a dedicated rural industrial policy. The goal should be to skillfully integrate modern tech with traditional knowledge, bridge those critical infrastructure gaps like roads, power, and internet, and continue to empower women, who, as we've seen, are the backbone of so many of these industries.
This leaves us with one final, powerful question. You see, it's not about choosing between tradition and progress, but about weaving them together. If India gets this right, its villages could become the source of the next great wave of innovation, proving that the heart of a modern economy can beat strong absolutely anywhere.